But
yep, we already have some participants who are joining, I believe. Yes. So what have you been doing today, Hisako?
having been so today, so it's so many meetings I have today. So yeah, more than I cannot count it. Maybe 10 meetings.
Oh my God! In one day.
Yeah, one day. That's crazy.
Okay, so we're starting to welcome people. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We're a little bit early. Oh, we just turned 7 p.m. I think some people are still coming in, so we'll wait a few minutes, Hisako, just to welcome people. I see that you have a hi. I see you have a very interesting painting behind you, but what painting is that?
That you mean the painting?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the artworks from the cows, named cows. So he is quite famous, so contemporary artist. And then this artwork comes from 1980s era. Yeah, so I think that so you can Google it with cows, Kaws.
Kaws, you said.
Yeah, and his style is graffiti, based on graffiti, and then so as you can see some advertisement H&M, and this is a real advertisement in the bus stop of New York City, and he painted. He took the advertisement from the bus stop and then painting on the advertisement.
Oh, wow.
And then so to back to the bus stop. That's his artwork.
Yeah, I would never buy a painting like that. So it's because I'm not creative. I don't know what is good art.
You are.
Okay, so we're starting to get more people in. So I'm going to I'm going to get started. Welcome everybody to this leader interview. My name is Reina, and we have here with us Hisako Taniai. Hi, Hisako.
Hi, Reina. Hi, everybody.
Hi. All right, so just a quick introduction about Hisako. Hisako, you work as a creative director at a U.S. entertainment company. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And what is your role? What exactly do you do in your company?
Yes. So I'm. Thank you for introduction, Ms. Reina. So I'm creative director at the global entertainment company. My job is to manage a creative team and then provide to our business partner. So how to use our contents and stories into products, merchandising.
I see. So it's about, designing creative sort of new products, collaborating with potential partners, but also thinking about the business side of it, selling, merchandising, and so on.
Yeah.
I see. Do you enjoy your job? Is it a fun job?
Yeah, I do. So I've been working for the company more than 15 years. So don't count. So don't imagine my age. Anyway. Yeah, I do.
What is most fun about your job?
Well, so so our company has a lot of content and story, and I'm so excited to see how story can be products merchandising, and then so I can imagine how the consumer enjoy and happy, and then to have our products. So that's my favorite part.
Great. Yeah, it sounds like a fun job to be able to create things, design things. Use your sort of creative mind and make money from that. It sounds like a very fun job.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So Hisako, you work for a company that's a global company based in the U.S., one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world. But recently our world has been changing quite a bit, and so how has your company changed in terms of maybe working style or working culture due to COVID-19 or the coronavirus?
Oh yeah, the remote work is now our default. So for the company, and then so yeah, this is a big change. So until now, so we have to apply when we have remote work. But now, so we have to apply when we go to the office. So completely opposite.
Oh.
Then yeah, so we all feel some shift in value.
Definitely. And has your working style changed as well?
Yeah, of course. Then because I never go to the office more than 3 months or 4 months, and then so now I learned most of things done. So but without going to the office, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You can do you never really thought about it before, but all these meetings, communicating with people, it can definitely be done online if everyone has the same sort of kind of mindset about online working and remote working. Okay, so you're mainly working remotely now?
Yeah.
Almost 100%?
Yeah, almost 100%.
Okay. Are there any things that you face in terms of like difficulties when you are working remotely, being away from your team?
Yeah. Well, I like remote work. However, now getting used to. But at the beginning, so I was struggling to grasp what my team thought. So because I am type of person who is good at non-verbal communication, so I cannot find how they feel right now. So that's,
what do you mean by non-verbal communication? Is it like?
It's like we get some feeling without any word. Like I just get the impression from your face or
face and like body language, and maybe atmosphere and
and voice tones. But the now it doesn't. So non-verbal communication doesn't work for remote work. So then I tried to several things to improve the situation to grab my team the feeling. But so I asked directly to my team. So what's your concern? So with these circumstances, so please let me know if you have any problem. But nobody answered me. Then I thought it seems like it's kind of vague question or unclear purpose. Why Hisako asked this question? Or maybe then what I tried next is to ask question again more clearly. And then so question divided into 3 categories, like technical issue or mental issues, or what they want their boss to do. So then and also saying some why I'm asking this. So providing more the purpose. So it works.
Definitely interesting. So being more maybe like direct and very specific about what you are asking, and also maybe raising some examples so that it is better understood. I guess, as you say, when we're working face to face and you can ask, what's wrong, or are there any problems you're facing? People can sense your empathy, your feeling, your intention. But in an online environment with a screen in between us, it's much more difficult to read why people are asking certain questions. So explaining that and being very direct and clear is very important.
So definitely. Then so most of communication tool is chatting or emails. So that,
I see.
And then sometimes we have components goes using video, but the the common communication tool is chatting. Then so much so emails and chatting so increased.
Yeah, so much technology dependence that we have right now.
That's good. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so in addition to kind of these communication challenges that you faced, I assume that in a work like yours where it's very creative, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, it's a lot of brainstorming and trying to find new ideas. What are some difficulties you often face in this process, especially now with remote working?
Well, yeah, so the more that you work, so you mean the more things, so connecting creative work,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, because it's my imagination here, because I don't really work in as creative or art field or anything like yours, but my imagination is that it requires a lot of inspiration from different things. But when you're working from home, you work in the same room every day, and you don't get as much stimulation and inspiration as before when you were walking to your office or seeing people on the train. So does that affect your creativity, do you think?
Oh yeah. So so regardless the remote work, but so all creative work should be so problem solving. Then so the most important thing, especially under the remote work situation, is to imagine from the first phase to the end. Or I mean the find common ground as early as possible. So I mean so if not, the creative output is going to be big. So let me think about a great example. So so remote work, so basically we cannot see each other, right? And then so the all of creative works need to clear the purpose. Then ask to clarify the purpose is most important thing. And the providing the purpose and and the preparing other reference, visual reference, what we do. So the clear purpose and the references are the most crucial under the remote work situation.
Okay. So the purpose of why you are doing this creative project, why you are developing this design product.
Right.
So what is this for? What kind of customer is it for? Who are we targeting? That sort of purpose, like the end goal. And can you repeat again what you meant by references? So references meaning like things that.
So for references, like some picture. For example, when we think about some products designs, so we are looking at some reference. So what kind of design we need to create, and then so using some visual sample is more easier than explain that by text. So like cool type of visual, or our client needs more like a friendly type of the solution, or that depends on the request or purpose from our business partner.
So is it kind of like something that is sort of similar in tone, or it's more easy to because you don't have the product yet, right? You're still designing it, or you haven't designed it. You're starting from zero. But you want to give some sort of references for the client and for your team and for yourself to be able to agree on tone, maybe the colors, the kind of energy of the product. Is that it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Oh no, you said that. And I'm just sort of using my own words to understand.
Or so when you think about for example, the products or T-shirts, that T-shirt, if they're related to more beach style or more city style, that easy to say. And then so the showing the visual reference to grab common ground. So each other.
Do you think it's possible to create something from zero without any goal or purpose or without any reference, with nothing at all? Is it impossible to do that?
Yeah, I think it's possible as long as we know about our partners issue or partners. But especially for for new client, I think it's almost impossible. So to design without any references. So we call it as in other way as a design board or mood board. So using some picture.
Yeah, because a client can say, I want a happy kind of product, but the client's happy and their definition of what is happy might be very different from your definition and your team's definition and so on. So you need a reference point to align everybody when multiple people are working on a project together.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that kind of applies to non-creative work as well. Like a reference point that everyone can agree on, definitions that all of us agree on, and an end goal that everyone agrees on.
Right. Yeah, we should avoid some argument. So in the middle of the process, right? So that's why the key is to grab so the common ground at first.
Absolutely. That is fascinating. Thank you, Hisako. And so is there anything you do to stay creative, or how do you, even though you have these references and you have a goal, I think it's still a very difficult process to create something new. But how do you get inspiration? How do you develop new kinds of ideas?
So I think I think in being creative, that's good question. And
for example, I think before, because Hisako and I know each other for many years, a long time ago you mentioned to me that it's important to have your own style, like a kind of like a creative brand or creative style, like maybe like a Bible inside of you.
But it doesn't mean that this is a Bible I can use. But I believe that being creative is speak in your own words. Not have to say someone else's word. So for example, so nowadays everybody is interested in talking about sustainability, right?
Yes, sustainability.
But so what's the sustainability for you? Why you are interested in sustainability? Or so what's the next of sustainability? So this kind of brainstorming by myself is I think the key to be creative, I think.
That is interesting. So you take some trend or hot words like sustainability is one, SDGs is another one. These kind of, maybe even coronavirus can be one. These sort of trending popular words that many people use. You make a list of them and then you think about each one. What does this actually mean for me? What does sustainability mean to me? How would I define it using my own words? So you do that exercise to stay creative.
Do that exercise. So being creative. So rather than just looking for the trends.
Do you think when people define these kind of words, so when people do these exercises, like what is sustainability to me, do you think there are correct answers and then incorrect answers, or any answer that you have using your own words is correct?
I think it doesn't mean that there is some correct answer. So the important thing is just looking for yourself. So speak out. So speak to the people. So what you are thought about. So for example, sustainability. That's but it doesn't matter if it's correct or not. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that is maybe key to being creative, because I'm not creative, so I immediately think about what is correct though. What is correct I need to look at a dictionary and I need to look up the word sustainability and research its meaning, but that's not the point here. It's about using your own words to explain maybe a little bit of an ambiguous idea, but use your own words and try to explain it, and that is your style. Yeah.
So instead of some generic words.
I see. Well, I have a few more questions I want to ask you, Hisako, but I also want to open it up to the audience, our participants. If you would like to ask Hisako any question about creativity, how to stay positive in this age of remote working, how to be productive in this age of remote working, please use either the chat tool or the Q&A tool on Zoom and submit your questions, and I will ask Hisako your questions as well. But before we move on to those audience questions, I want to ask you a few more of my own questions. So, Hisako, you're a very successful woman in Japan. You have a very key position in one of the biggest companies in the world. Do you have any sort of advice for our viewers today in terms of how can we be more successful? What do you focus on to be successful?
So actually, I'm not thinking about I'm a successful woman, but yeah, but so same as earlier I said, the finding your own words and live your own life, and then especially for the kids are successful. I'm not sure it's related to being successful, but when I think about the design, so the first thing to do is think about its concept and its frames. The frames is every artwork has frames, right? And then Mona Lisa has frames in the museum, and then so everything has frame. And for example, so let me share some example, so maybe more easier to understand. So here is a candle. And I bought it at Hawaii, actually. But most of people believe designs here. But it's not true. The frame is here. So start to think about here, and then this is a kind of a tip for this kind of tip for being more I'm not sure it's successful, but being creative,
So it's maybe kind of related to success too. You think about the sort of outer frame first. You don't focus on the most important things, but you think about the structure first, the outer sort of borders and the scope first, the shape of what you want to achieve first, instead of focusing on the details.
Exactly. Yeah, everything has some frame and structure, and then so artwork, yes, products has, and also presentation has structure, and that I think it can call frame, and so everything, and it's even your face has frame. So
our face has frame and structure. Okay, how do we know what our frame is? What is my frame?
That's I believe the eyebrow is the frame in your face. And then then eyebrow is really, really important to make a first impression. So because I believe the eyebrows, can I say hi? So I will make your some more what you want to do. What do you want to be in the future? So and the destiny. And so related to the eyebrow design related to your destiny. So
interesting. So you eyebrows are part of that sort of like the frame that you have for your face, and your face is a product too, right? For most of us, because you're selling yourself, and the first things that people see is your face. So do you feel like we should work on our eyebrows to change the impression of our face?
Yeah, definitely recommend to go to the eyebrow designer. So to
eyebrow designer.
Eyebrow designer. So but because you usually go to the hair salon when you get the haircut, right? And then so there is a professional eyebrow designer. So
eyebrow designer, I've never heard of that before.
Yes, I would recommend. I will introduce some of the eyebrow designer to you.
Thank you.
Then so back to the successful. So looking at the success people, I think the eyebrow is some kind of the shape of successful. You know.
Never thought about that. I need to go look at successful people's eyebrows. I do have like a image of successful, especially I guess women as well. Successful women tend to have sharper eyebrows. In my, the faces that I'm imagining now. So that is an interesting point, because eyebrows do really change your impression. And again, your face is part of you as a product. So you do need to take care of these even small details to sell yourself to other people and ensure your success.
It's a small details, but very, very, very crucial.
Interesting.
As you say in your book, the first impression is really, really key in the business, right? And then I think the eyebrow designs are great, so makes great first impression.
Great. I think everyone's going to start looking and researching for an eyebrow designer in their neighborhood. But thank you, Hisako, for that. Interesting. And that's a very intriguing and unique point. I've never heard of that before. And we do have a question here. So Hisako, we have a question from the audience. Not everyone might be able to become so creative, but interesting synergy could be created by putting together creative people and non-creative people in a team. And Hisako, as a creative person, what do you think is the biggest advantage to work with non-creative people? Interesting.
Interesting. I never thought about it. But but the advantage. So.
Or do you?
So
you often work with creative people, right? Because you're the creative director of a big company, but you must also work with, more like logical people who love, data, facts, numbers, and who may not be as creative. But is there anything that you benefit from working with non-creative types of people? No.
But usually I working with non-creative type of jobs people, so like finance or business side, or benefit maybe
I would imagine, so this is similar but a little bit different, but when I work with people who have very different skills than me, I tend to realize new perspectives or new sort of ideas or areas that I never even imagined before. But does that ever happen when you work with people from finance or people from business?
The creative people can imagine easily, immediately everything, and then even the finance or business people talking about the sales, so the strategy, then so we can draw down the picture or about the strategy, and then showing the business people, is this correct what you say, and using some picture. I think that so the question is advantage for the creative people or non-creative people.
Both, I guess. So you just mentioned an advantage of for non-creative people to work with creative people, kind of like non-creative people, if they're very business-minded, you know, their background is in maybe engineering or data or whatever it is, it might be difficult for them to sort of imagine something, and creative people can come in and sort of draw pictures, a different world. But I guess also
business people. I think the but I don't want to say non-creative people to business person. So because I believe everybody, so the creative people creative job. But so for me, the finance is so creative. So how do they calculate the number of the sales? But then so we really inspired by the non creative jobs, the people, and then so to learn from them how the organize things clearly, and so using some number, and then also that they giving some strategy, and so looking look at the more future, like 5 years the future, or they are usually talking about what we are going to, and so where we are going to, and then so they are talking about the vision and the picture, so it's without any creative works, but it is creative and advantage of non-creative people.
I guess the word creative has different meanings, and you know, being able to imagine a world that doesn't exist. So business planners, people who make financial forecasts for the future, they don't know what the world is going to look like, but they envision it based on the information that they have, and that is creative work.
That's really creative, right? I cannot imagine how they calculate the future using number.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that interesting question. We do have another question coming in. Okay, so it was mentioned that Hisako works in a U.S. company, but what are some challenges working in a big U.S. company as a Japanese professional?
Wow, that's a very good question. So, so so always trying to show the appeal, what's the difference from Japan market between U.S. market.
Okay.
And then so they are so luckily they are they have interesting about the Japan. So we needed to explain more about detail. So what's the difference? And then so because consumer they are totally different. Even so we have same content and same story, but the consumer depends on the market. And then and it doesn't work. It just say Japan is unique. It doesn't work. And then so they're showing some word they maybe know about. For example, so I used konmari to explain the Japanese. Konmari. The konmari nowadays, so that U.S. people knows konmari, and then so showing some product design, so very subtle design, but the subtle and clean design works in Japan, but not US. But they wonder why so you have such a subtle design. And then so I explained to them Zen Spirit and Komari, and then so that it works. And then as I said earlier, so finding some common surface between US team and Japan, and I usually try to find something they know well about like the Takashi Murakami or Hokusai, or that's the common that they are so they probably know that.
Okay, so explaining about the uniqueness of the Japanese market, and not just the market itself, but you know, the desires of Japanese consumers, what their preferences are, what sells in Japan, because your company does very well in Japan. So sharing that knowledge and convincing people that, you know, it's not just that Japanese market is unique. You know, we could do this in other markets too, just adapt some of the concepts here.
So explain. So with reference.
Reference, yes. Okay, so we have another question here. Kaori is asking, when you verbalize your passion or thoughts, what do you do first? Sometimes it's difficult to verbalize something and I don't know where to start, what to say first. Could you share your way or give me any tips? So expressing your passion and your thoughts and words. I completely understand, Kaori, because I'm a very emotional person. Hisako, if you didn't know this already, you probably do. I'm very emotional. So when I'm very excited about something, or when I'm very angry about something, when I really want to sort of express my feeling, my emotion comes first. And it's really difficult for me to express it in words. But Hisako, your job is about taking an image, a visual, and expressing it as a product. And when you work with your client, you also have to use words to express your feelings about a certain product. But how do you go about doing that? Do you have any tips to express using words?
Yeah, that's one of my challenging things. As I said, I'm non-verbal. I'm good at non-verbal.
In that case, so because some things are challenging to express in words, do you use like the references that you mentioned earlier, or do you try to use like body language, or what do you try to do?
Well, I've been trying to do so being honesty, and then try to avoid so difficult word to explain. So avoid to pretend to be smart. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you try to use very simple words, maybe even like pretending to explain something to a child. To a 6-year-old.
And then using simple words, but in the text, the organized, very simple to understand, easy to understand, like so first, second, or third, and then so this is kind even in email. So that try to be simple and short, and using some the
frame.
The number.
Okay, great. So Kaori, I hope this helps, and this helps me as well. So use simple words, as you say, and I think your comment, be honest, and just be genuine. Try to open up and express what you feel using simple words. That's an excellent, I think, tip. And the second is structure, right? Framing. So it's much easier for someone to understand your idea if you have some kind of structure, whether it be like positive points, negative points, or pros, cons, first, second, third, fourth. So having like a sort of toolbox of different structures you can use might be a good way to do that. All right. We have a lot of questions coming in. So one more question, Hisako.
Sure.
A lot of professionals are now working from home, and many people should be getting tired of looking at their PC all day. Do you recommend any specific items to put at home in a room to keep people kind of open-minded and creative?
Well, this is kind of me too. I'm getting used to the remote work, but on the other hand, I'm tired. Working on the computer all day, and then so I bought this one. So this one is the solar light.
Oh.
Then so that's I forget about charge maybe. Sorry, but
it's a light.
It's a light, and then so you can put your favorite. I put my dry flower, and then so here is the solar panel. And so put on the outside, and then so that's going to be gold. So light in your room. Maybe it works. Yeah. But this is one of things I can recommend. So
interesting.
Relaxing in your work.
Why does that relax you, or why does that keep you creative?
But I'm not sure it's related to creative, but lighting and green in your room or environment as an environment. And I think that makes you more relaxing, and then so it's like a meditation.
Yeah, definitely. I think lighting and lights in general, sunshine, is important.
Yeah. Then so if if you have a time to go outside, I think it's easy to get sunshine and then more to be refreshing. But if you not have much time to go outside when you are tired, I can recommend to have put the green or some lighting. And now I have so many green in my house. It's a proof I am tired. So.
I think last time we spoke, you only had one tree behind you, and now I see two. So I could understand that you're stressed.
That's a sign.
Okay, that's good tip though. So greenery is always relaxing. It keeps a clean atmosphere in your room, and lighting, especially the solar jar. Did you say solar?
Solar jar, solar jar.
Jar, and that one's interesting because you can also, put in different things, right? You can open it and then, replace it with different things and kind of play with it and see the different lighting. So that's also very interesting too. Okay. One last question, Hisako, from Anonymous. What do you think is the biggest motivation for creative people? So in other words, what is important to keep your team members creative and motivated?
Well, so I'm trying to give the good word to them. So whenever they created something, to create output, and then giving some compliments, but it's true. And giving some good words to people, to team member, and also so try to listen. So if they have any problem and stuck, so if they are stuck something, that I listen. Then so I can be solved as much as I can.
Yeah, I imagine that creative work requires a lot of hard work, of course, but it's a little bit of a lonely process maybe sometimes because you don't know what the right answer is. It's not 2 + 2 = 4. It can be, you make something from zero on your own. So it must be very lonely. And to be able to be told by you, good job. This is such an excellent work or excellent design, excellent product that you've designed. And you do feel like, okay, yes, you gain confidence in your creativity. So that is a good thing. And how do you know when some of your team members are facing a difficulty or facing challenge? How can you tell? Do they come to you, or can you kind of tell from their expression?
Yeah, so before the COVID-19, I can find their facial expression.
Oh, so what is the change? How do their faces change?
Just atmosphere, even the gestures. So just met I think that's maybe I can say that it's atmosphere, and then so including facial expression and or voice tone. But right now, so this is difficult to grab so when they have some struggling something, and then I've been trying to find their feelings through chat or some output, and then so if the output is vague, I ask directly what happened to you, and then so the answer is I can feel something through their output.
That's so interesting. One last question. I'm sorry, I keep on saying last question, but this is my question, Hisako. Especially before coronavirus, you used to go on many business trips to many different countries. You were away on business trips once a month, twice a month, and you were very active working with people from other countries as the creative director of Japan. But when you talk about atmosphere and reading people, depending on whether they are Japanese or not Japanese, is it more difficult for you to read their mood or read their expression, or is it pretty much same?
No, it's different.
Very different.
Very different. Then so that's also another my challenging point. So but now I am working together with APAC team, Asian team. Then so comparing the other countries, Asian people can more easier. So so we have some common things, and then so facial expression is we have some common, but some people so for me I can sometimes difficult to find what they think through their facial expression.
So you're training right now to try to find what the sort of patterns is. You're trying to gather data.
But luckily, so instead of reading the atmosphere, but so American people can say show everything, right? And then, so the sayings the using some word, and then they speak out. So what they think. So that's easy to understand what they think.
That's interesting. So depending on the culture, maybe like Americans, it's a very sort of frank culture. Very sort of open, honest. If we're angry, we say I'm angry. So you don't really have to read their atmosphere, but maybe other cultures, maybe some parts of Asia, it's a little bit more difficult to read their expressions and their atmosphere. That's very interesting. Thank you, Hisako. And we are out of time. We are overtime, actually. I apologize to everyone and to Hisako for going overtime a little bit, but it was very interesting, Hisako. Thank you so much for your insights and your positivity and helpful tips and suggestions. It was very, very intriguing. Do you have any last words to our viewers?
Thank you for your time to join our seminar, and so it was a great opportunity for me. So thank you.
Yes, and thank you as well. Thank you everyone for joining on a Friday night at 8 p.m. really, and thank you Hisako again for joining out of your busy schedule. And yes, we have some people chatting us saying it was very inspirational. So thank you again, Hisako. And please come back and visit us again. Do another maybe webinar
Yes. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you, Reina.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.